I'm Derek Tottery, and today I've sat down and actually written a script. What's the special occasion? Well, none other than the 2026 running of the Mark Galloway Shootout. Now, you'll notice that this video that you're about to see is outside of our normal style, but just bear with me a little bit. And trust me, it's going to be a good one. So sit back, crack open a can of Rev Up, and let's talk about some late model racing. On Saturday, it's the 2026 edition of the Mark Galloway Shootout 150. The first time that drivers will tackle the iconic Evergreen Speedway 5/8 oval this season, testing their merit against the best of the West. The locals and veterans of Evergreen Speedway will clash against the Spears Cars Tour West, Northwest Race Cows Pro Late Models, and the Southwest Pro Late Models as part of the Hoosier Tire West Triple Crown Series. Evergreen points leader Haley Constance will have to contend with the points leaders of the other two series, Ethan Ebert and Kyle Keller, along with an arsenal of top-tier drivers. It's been an interesting first three races for the Northwest Tour, having already stopped at TCR, Wenatchee, and State Line. Each of these races has seen different winners, including, most recently, the 2014 NASCAR Cup Series champion Kevin Harvick, who will be joining us here at Evergreen Speedway, unlike veteran Northwest driver Alan Kress and his Avengers of a Race team who picked up the win at Wenatchee. While Kress will not make the journey, Harvick and Rackley War will, and that is a great sign for the many teams and many fans who are excited to see what he can do once again on the 5/8. A reminder, Keelan and Kevin both came out last year to the 2025 edition of this race and both ran within the top 10 for a majority of the race. A little more on that later. Evergreen Speedway's 5/8 is one of the trickiest tracks in the country, sporting a very well-worn racing surface that requires good tire management. Drivers who succeed at this track are patient and bide their time and bide their tires. If you're looking for experts, this field has two front-runners. Nema Lang is a multi-time track champion who won his first title at the track in 2004, when I was born, back when the Bombers still raced on the big track. Few in the Northwest can claim the same level of experience as on the track, especially sustained. The only other one who can contend with his two Mark Galloway championships in 2011 and 2021 is Hayden Clybaugh. The Spokane native is the two-time and defending winner of this race. While his 2024 win was part of the Twin 70s, his 2025 win demonstrated how far he's grown over his career in Northwest Pro Late Model racing. It featured him at his best throughout the season, outdueling Keelan Harvick and others. Clybaugh and this team have been real fast when they're at their best all year long, but struggled with carts not always falling their way and luck running a bit sour. None of the other 10 former winners of this race will be present. But that doesn't mean there's no more 5/8 experts to speak of. Wyatt Gardner picked up the 2024 Summer Showdown Pro Late Model crown on the same track as part of his dominant championship-winning campaign. The driver of the number 3 has been touring with the Northwest Race Cows Pros and enters the weekend 5th in their points. In a shockingly similar situation entering the weekend is young prospect Keelan Harvick. The young driver and son of the aforementioned 2014 champion made his debut at the race last year in 2025 and was a front-runner, battling throughout the race with eventual winner Hayden Clybaugh. While his Southwest season has gone rather smoothly, the same cannot be said of his runs here in the North, where he's yet to finish a race, in large part due to being caught in the wrong place in the wrong time, and maybe a little bit of aggressive driving. Look for him to bring a fast car and that same aggressive attitude to the races at Evergreen. And while one of the least experienced drivers on the track in general, one of the biggest question marks going into this weekend is the driver of the Jefferson Racing number 9. Ethan Ebert has been racing these cars for just over a year now, and yet has made 2 appearances at the Super Speedway of the West and is the points leader for the Northwest Pros entering the night. Ebert has demonstrated a pattern of excellent strategy calls in the past, which may just help him tip his hand in favor against this stacked field. As mentioned, Evergreen, a difficult track where strategy plays a big role. If you can take some swings and they can pay off like they have in some of these previous races, in pretty good shape. On the opposite side, Southwest points leader Kyle Keller has never paid a visit to Evergreen before. The driver will be experiencing the track for the first time, along with fellow Southwest Pro competitors Jaron Giannini and James Hamlin, as well as even more. With favorites and question marks out of the way, there's always the matter of dark horses. My favorite type of drivers that I always love to talk about, shining the spotlight on some that might not be favorites, but are definitely contenders. And for the Mark Galloway weekend, I'm going to highlight 3 more drivers that I just haven't talked about. First is Buddy Shepard. Experience is key, and the driver, the number 22, has quite a bit of it. He's made 4 starts in the 5/8 and can certainly contend, as evidenced by last top 5. He's also seen quite a bit of success consistently around the southwest side of things. Next on my list is the number 69 of Andrew Riehl. Another young driver, Riehl already made a name for himself winning last year's Idaho 200 at State Line Speedway. In addition, his consistency in the Northwest races we've seen so far has earned him a 3rd place spot in points heading into the weekend. Riehl can be cautious, but he's also very consistent far this year. If the leaders get into trouble, expect him to strike. And finally, there is the only man in the field who can rival the sustained experience of the track that Nema Lane has. The number 89, Juanet is the only driver other than Nema to start all 15 Mark Galloway races, and is consistent here at the Superspeedway of the West, with top 5s in 5 of his Mark Galloway starts and 4 more top 10s, though he's never quite notched a spot at the top of the board. Beware of the experience from that number 89 team, because you best believe that Donnie does want it. And that's that. A nice, quick, clean preview of the 2026 shootout. A lot on the line when 3 series collide, and step 1 of the Triple Crown. So head on down to Evergreen Speedway this Saturday, June 27th, to catch the sights and sounds of big track racing. From us here at the Announcer's Curse Podcast, my name has been Derek Totaro, and we will see you next time. Well, there is one more thing. One tiny little thing I may not have mentioned. More accurately, one man. I talk cautiously about him because of our mutual history of curses. But that being said, there's a reason they call him the 5/8 Ace, the East Wenatchee Warrior. He is the 3-time Summer Showdown Pro Late Model winner, and his name is Thomas Stanford. If you want to win on the 5/8, you have to beat the number 19. The driver out of East Wenatchee is a force to be reckoned with, entering the week finishing outside the top 5 only once in his 6 career 5/8 starts, and on the top step 3 times. Stanford is also already a winner this season. I perhaps glossed over this in my intro, but his win at Tri-Cities Raceway kicked off the Northwest Pro Late Model season. That run, and some other consistent ones, have placed him 2nd in points, with the win being the tiebreaker he needs to put him over Andrew Riehl. Stanford comes to Evergreen no doubt aware that this is perhaps his best track, but also that this field is one of the higher caliber ones he's ever faced. Missing from that trophy cabinet is a Mark Galloway win. Can this be the year he changes that? We'll just have to wait and see. For real this time. Thank you for listening to this special preview of the 2026 Mark Galloway Shootout. If you like this and want us here at the ACP to do more stuff like it, make sure to let us know by commenting, liking, subscribing, and doing whatever you can on whatever platform you're listening to this on. We're working to bring you more things now that the hiatus is done, so stay tuned.
Saturday, June 27th is the annual Mark Galloway 150 Shootout at Evergreen Speedway, featuring the Spears Cars Tour West on the big 5/8 mile track. The Galloway Shootout features NASCAR Pro Late Model drivers from the Western U.S. and Canada, including NASCAR Cup Series champion Kevin Harvick and his son, rising star Keelan Harvick. One of the biggest races in the Western U.S. Gates open 2 p.m. Main events at 5. Tickets and details, evergreenspeedway.com.